Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA?
Native 454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. So, the infamous Episode 8 Princess Prom for She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And I'll just say this. Well, that fucking sucked.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching and be sure.
No, but really, I'm going to do a full breakdown like I do with every episode. And I don't know how to go about this because it did make me angry because I saw so many things that people have brought this up in the comments that there's a lot of revenge writing here. A lot of these people probably had issues about high school and going to prom and things like that, and they wrote it into the script, and it's kind of pathetic. You took something and it's just revenge. It's hatred. It's just awful. So I'll just go, and if I end up getting more ranty and angry, we'll see how this goes. I'll try to rein myself in, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. We open up and Adora gets like an invitation to like the winter snowball in Snows. That's the name of the land, Snows. Can we get any more ridiculously simplistic? But they're like, oh, and then she's asking Bo and Glimmer about it because she doesn't know what the hell any of this crap is. And they're like, yay, it's Princess Prom. And they're like dancing around the room like 5-year-olds. I've seen little kids get less excited about going to Disneyland than how these two are acting about going to a freaking dance. So they're just explaining how great and wonderful it's going to be. And apparently this is like an oldie times thing. So they've been doing this for however long years they've been doing this. And every princess is invited. And since She-Ra is like a princess of sorts, she gets invited and she's going to be, their plus one anyways. And this is where this could have been a good subplot, but it's not, because it's played up like a 5-year-old, not like a young woman, teenager character. Basically, she's like, oh, me and Bo, we go we're going to go and dress up together and we're going to go there as super friends, besties. But Bo's like, oh, Perfuma asked me to go with her. And, I said yes. Because presumably, I guess Bo likes girls, or maybe he's bi, but, because he seemed really into Seahawk in the other episode. But, yeah, he wants to go with Perfuma, and because, he kind of wants to go with the girl. He's a young man. Maybe he's attracted to her. Glimmer can't understand that. She just sees this as, oh, everyone just goes as friends. Glimmer, come on, time to grow up a little bit. She's like stuck in little kid mode. Is she 8 or is she like 16? Come on. It's really, if that's how they would have played it, where she kind of always liked Bo and she kind of had a crush on him, and so she feels a little like, oh, he's going to go boogie with this other girl. No, she just is afraid to lose him as a friend. Come on, it's okay to show that she likes him. In a physical way, in a romantic way, that's okay. No, it has to be only in a platonic friendship kind of way. So that subplot fails. It continues on through the whole episode, but it just basically breaks down to that. She doesn't want to lose her friend. That's it. Because if he had a girlfriend, that means he couldn't be your friend, right? So they're just, of course, Adora doesn't want to go on this stupid little trip. And it cuts to the Fright Zone, and we got Catra. She's just walking around. You think she's talking to herself, but she's actually talking to, again, everyone reminding me that she's a scorpion, not a lobster. And her name is Scorpion something. So a play on the word of scorpion. But I like Scissor Punch. That's her name. Catra's talking about, oh, I got to get Adora. I got to impress Hordak, and he'll make me the new... Basically, she wants to usurp Shadow Weaver, which is kind of dumb because you're just kind of like a fighter, and she's like this powerful sorceress. This plan is stupid. Maybe you could become like the head leader of like the armies or something, but you're never going to replace her because she has a certain skill set that you don't have. So her plan to replace her just doesn't make any sense. Maybe become more important than her, but you're never going to just outright replace her. So I don't know, Catra, you're a freaking idiot. We got Scissor Punch here, and she's like, oh, I'm in your room, we're like best friends, and she's like being silly. I don't know if I don't like that her character. It's played up for jokes and silliness, but apparently she's a princess, and she got an invitation to the Snows. Apparently the kingdom of the Snow people, they are neutral, so they're not part of the war. So technically, they just send the invitations to any princess, even the whole princesses that happen to be in the Horde. She's going, and then she explains it all, and this is where the revenge writing comes in. Oh, they never liked me before. They hated me and everything. Well, the princesses have been shown to be kind of nice, so I doubt Perfuma would hate her. It doesn't make any sense why she would say this. This may be some type of perception in her mind. She thinks they hate her, but they really don't. But I can only speculate, but this probably happened to one of the writers. Oh, I was different in high school and no one wanted to be my friend because I was different and I looked different. No, maybe because you were an actual piece of shit, maybe that's why no one liked you. See, this review is going to get angry. I hate that. It's always everyone else's fault. It was never anything that I did. It's because, oh, X, Y, and Z, but nothing about me. It's the world is wrong and I'm right. That is the message of this whole entire episode, if not the whole entire freaking show. So she's explaining how her family was got like they joined the Horde and everything, and they even hated me before I was in the Horde. And it's like, get over yourself, freaking ugh. And then they try to make you feel bad for her, but we have no context. We only have her side of the story. So maybe she was a bully and a piece of crap, and that's why everyone hates you. I highly doubt it that she was nice and kind and sweet, like how she's portrayed in this, every time we've seen her character, and the other princesses are like, oh no, we don't like you. That is not something that we can be led to believe with everything we've seen so far. But she's like, oh, well, if they're going, She-Ra's going to be there. And then that's when Catra gets her plan. Oh, I'll go as your +1, so I'm going to go as your date. And they're like, okay, then of course we got to have, she called themselves the something duo. They're the freaking Scissor Me Timbers team, whatever. So we cut back to Glimmer and Bow, and this one he explains how Perfuma, I guess they were training. Apparently they train. That's nice. I'd rather have seen that than everything else in this episode. And while they're fighting and training together, Perfume's like, oh, you want to go to the dance with me? And he's like, yeah, sure. So, look, okay, it was a normal invitation. What did Glimmer want him to do? Tell her no. So Glimmer feels like, oh, it was supposed to be just us because we're the bestest best friends. Not because I like you. No, it's because you're my bestest best good friend. And Bo just doesn't get it. He's like, well, what the hell's your problem? We're all going to be there. We can all hang out together. And of course, she's feeling kind of hurt. And we get to Adora pulls Glimmer in. And of course, Adora takes everything as like a battle plan. And this is where we get oh God, the tumblers. Oh, he literally has all the strings connecting the characters. You know that stupid shit you see when people ship characters? Like, they have, like, the lines connecting the characters. Like, oh, these are the true love ones. These are the ones that are just friends. These ones are enemies. And they do, like, this whole, like, flow chart. She actually does that. Oh, my goodness. It's hurting my head. It is so stupid. I'm sure all the shipping fangirl people are like, oh, that's the thing I do on the internet. Oh, they did it in the show. No, that's pathetic. It's really, really dumb. She does break down some of these other characters, but the whole concept is dumb. I couldn't even really pay attention to it. She even built an obstacle course to train for going to the dance. And Glimmer's like, well, you're kind of a moron. And they bring up the point that she's like, oh, I'm going to go with She-Ra. And she's like, no, you can't. He can't have any weapons. Maybe they can make an exception for, basically the legendary hero of all time. I don't know. It just seems like something you think that other kingdom would want to meet the legendary hero, She-Ra, and want to talk to her, or at least, I don't know, pay her respect because she's supposed to be this literally person of legend. But, and then she's like, oh, guess what we get to do? Since you can't be She-Ra, we're going to go have a, dress-up makeover time. And she gets the big anime sparkly eyes. And then she's like, having to try and dresses and like doing up her hair and everything. And it's like, she's literally wearing boy underwear. It's like, would it be, I don't know. Everything about this just kills me. And it's like the most muted, nasty gray colors. But it's all like done to music, and it keeps cutting back between Scissor Punch and Catra and Glimmer and Adora, and they keep trying on new clothes and everything and going back and forth. And this is like, we get Catra's gonna wear boy clothes because, I do what I want. And she has a bow tie and she doesn't freaking tie it. You're not William Shatner. You can't do that. Wear the damn tie and tie it, or don't. You're not some sleazy lounge singer type thing. I can't freaking stand it. But one thing was cool. Bo's looking pretty sharp. But of course he has to like cut out for his abs because, that's a thing. But we keep cutting back and forth. They're trying different dresses. They're putting different hair, different makeup on. We get Perfuma She has nice hair. She kind of, I didn't notice this till I saw this screenshot when I was getting them. She looks like freaking Boomhauer from King of the Hill. I was trying to get a picture and overlay it. Oh my god, she looks just like him. Then they're doing the whole thing like when you go to prom, then you give a girl a corsage and she gives you the boutonniere and everything. But of course, it's different here. He hands her like this necklace thing, and it's like, you my bitch now. And she gives him like a big giant like flower thing, but of course she turns into the little flowers. Oh, they're going together. And we get a Scissor Punch here. Actually wearing I kind of like this dress. Her hair's done up and she has big ruby kind of earrings. Then we get back to Glimmer and Adora and they get their final party dresses and it looks all right. It's simple, but it's fine. We get to Ice King's castle here and she has to give, of course, it's like a check-in at the club. You have to turn in all your weapons. So she has to turn in her freaking sword and they're walking into the main hall. And this is a weird thing. Then like the art changes. These background characters look nothing like the background characters, or even the main characters in the show. It's like they had a completely different artist doing these. And there's a little too much detail here, so I'm assuming these are self-inserts. These are the writers and the producers and stuff. They're putting themselves into the story. Of course, there's more female couples than there are male-female couples. And you have to like put them in the center of the screen. And it looks so different. Look at these two just from behind. Don't look like they belong in this show. It's completely like the lack of consistency. It's jarring. But they're walking through the stupid dance hall and they have to go like greet the princess or whatever. And it's the little girl from We Bare Bears. It's the little Korean girl. And of course, like Adora is kind of an idiot. She like just talks out loud. It's like, I don't know if she's a little kid. Like loud enough for everyone in the freaking place to hear, but she's a little bitch anyway. So she's like, oh no, and the guards kind of like get off the stage. You screwed that up. But then it's like, okay, it's time to go party or whatever and like mingle. They meet up with Inchaptra and she's just seeing this as like a huge science experiment. She's like watching everyone. Is this on her chest? Is that like a grease mark because she's like a mechanic, or is that like a symbol? I just thought it was just like like a mess. She was working on a machine and it got on her shirt. I don't know. It's just the thing that it kind of bothers me. Then, she's just being a weirdo. And she's like, oh, look, they have tiny food. And she's staring at everyone. And people in the comments have told me that she's supposed to be autistic. I don't really get that vibe at all. It's kind of a weirdo. They should have. If that's the case, I think they're portraying a negative stereotype here. They could have done a much better job of, if that's what they were going for. I don't believe they were because I don't get that feeling at all. And she's like, "Oh, where's Bo? I want to show my new tape recorder because they're both in the Makers Club." And she's like, "Oh, how do I know? I don't know what he's doing." And they come walking down the stairs, Bo and Perfuma, and And she's like, they're all sparkly. Oh, they're wearing matching clothes or whatever. And this is when I'm thinking, oh, she's going to start admitting that she has feelings for Bo and she likes him. Nope. She's just mad because they're doing the bestie friends things that they used to do. Mermista shows up and she announces herself, but then de-announces herself by saying, oh, I'm here, but don't make a big deal about it. Then why the hell did you say anything? Just go away. No one likes you. So she's watching Bo and Perfuma be together, and she's getting all pouty and stupid. And we get Seahawk, and I don't know, it's Mermista and Seahawk are there together, and she tries to play it off, oh, he's just my ride here, and then he's like, oh no, I'm really her +1. So she's embarrassed of him, but she's like dating him. And there was another in the comments, how old is Seahawk? It kind of portrays him as an older character, but it's if he's dating one of the princesses, which are all teenagers. I would hope that he's a teenager too. Maybe 17, 18, 19, and she's maybe 16, 17. Because if he's older than that, that's hella creepy. I can't stand it. But we get more of these background characters that don't look like they belong in this show. They have this is the time I complain there's too much detail. They actually have more detail than the freaking main characters. So I'm assuming these are the writers or artists or people, they're friends, because they look they stand out a little too much. Of course, Seahawk's just being embarrassing, but Mermista went with him, so apparently she likes him. Then the crew kind of meets up and they're all talking, and Glimmer's just being like, oh, Adora just told this really funny joke, you know, and like trying to like make Bo jealous, but he doesn't care. Like he's like, oh, okay, just do your weird thing. And of course, you know, he even invites her over. He's like, oh, we're gonna go talk to people. You can come with us. And she's like, oh, no, I just want to hear Adora's really funny joke. And of course, there wasn't a joke. She's just being an idiot. And of course, Adora sees food and starts eating like a pig because, you know, anime characters like Goku and Luffy, they eat lots of food. Let's make Adora do it too. Even though she read that giant thing about etiquette, and she's not going to do the etiquette here. It's kind of dumb. Then she sees the little princess. I forget her name, but the We Bare Bears little girl, the Korean girl. And she walks over there and tries to like make up for her little screw up. And so she's going to talk to her and she kind of apologizes. And then she's just being a little bitch. My kingdom is this, I don't want your stupid little war. We can take care of ourselves. And then she has this, like, one of the butler people walk around with a tray of food. The cucumbers are touching something else. Fix it and make it right. Ah, geez, someone slapped this little kid. I hate characters like that. And I always think this is weird. I never do this. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'4". If someone's smaller than you, I don't ever like kneel down to their eye level. I just find that to be condescending, but that's what she does to like talk to her. You should just talk to them like you normally would. Don't do the kneeling thing. It makes them feel inferior, like you have to go down to their level. But she does that, and they kind of have like a little spat there saying, but since it's a neutral thing, I don't want your war. Just enjoy the party, but leave me alone. And Glimmer goes into creeper mode. She goes up like in the balcony. She's watching Perfumer and Bo like, you know, go to the party and do party things, like talk to people, converse, and she's just like watching them like a creeper. And this is where I'm like, okay, she's gonna admit it. She's gonna admit she likes Bo. No, he's my best friend, and if he likes her better, then we won't be friends anymore. She lives in another kingdom. How the flying F is he not gonna be your friend? It's so dumb. Why couldn't she just be attracted to him? Well, that had been such a horrible thing to have a heterosexual thing for her. It's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating that they would play this angle and play it in a stupid way. Of course, Adora sees Scissor Punch and Cat Lady walk in, Catra, and she's like, what are they doing here? And she runs down there and just keeps embarrassing herself. She's like getting loud and shouting, and then of course the little girl is saying, well, this is a mutual thing, and since she's a princess, she was invited, she's allowed to be here. Then I thought this was weird. The guards literally grab Glimmer and Adora and throw them off the little stair thing, and they like land on their asses. What the hell? They can understand, like, okay, you need to step down. You're not supposed to be up here, but they literally throw them. That's a little much. And then Catra, she's talking, she talks shit. That's what she does, and she's like, oh, we're going to just be here. Oh, we're just having fun. And then, of course, she's teasing her and everything and doing little silly gags. Like, she put something in the ice trash can. Like, the trash can's literally made out of ice. And has little arrows that you know that it's a trash can. And then the little thing she threw in there was just a little note that said, hi, Adora. She got you. And then she sees Catra walking up to Chaptra. And, oh, no, she's going to do something here. Yeah, she's really going to attack her right in the middle where everyone is. Yeah, Adora, you're a freaking idiot. And Glimmer was supposed to be watching Scorpia. That's her name, I suppose, but I'm going to keep going with Scissor Punch. And she's supposed to be watching her to make sure she doesn't do anything. Of course, she's stuffing her face because she's a fatty. And she sees Bo, and she can't help but to go talk to Bo. And she kind of, first she thinks, oh, she's going to apologize for being an idiot. And then she's like, oh, I accept your apology. Why would Bo have to apologize for anything? Because you're an insecure moron. He has to apologize for your insecurities. Ridiculous, Glimmer. Grow the F up. You're not 5 years old. He's a teenager, and he finds a girl attractive. Yeah, that's going to happen. You can't be forever 5-year-olds, Glimmer. It's just not going to happen. So she feels all bad, and she should. This buffet table looks like absolute shit. And then we have Adora, of course, is going to just tracking down Catra. She's going to attack Enchaptra, but then she's like helps her because she's like leaning over the freaking balcony, so she kind of like saved her. She's like, oh, this is my new assistant. She's going to like help me out. And of course, Enchapra's like an idiot. And then you get Catra saying, "Oh, is this what love's like?" No, Catra, that isn't what love's like. That's just you being a moron. And Adora pulls Enchaptra aside, and the art looks like shit right here. And she's talking to her. She's part of the Horde, and we're part of the rebellion. And she's not saying anything. They're like the enemy. We're supposed to be fighting them. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." I guess that is that her autism coming through, that she's an idiot? That's really nice that you think people with autism have to be stupid. Good one. You did it, She-Ra team. Then we cut back to Bo because I guess he went to go get his cummerbund because, oh, it's getting cold in here, because he has to show off his non-abs. And we see Scissor Punch putting little bombs. Or they look like the little crystals, but apparently they're the thermal detonators straight out of Star Wars. And then he goes to go tell the guards, and of course the guards are the two, it's Kyle. I remember his name, Kyle, and other girl that were a part of her original team, and they still adore Sword, which doesn't come up in the rest of this episode. But so they're gonna set off some type of attack. Then we get to the part that's just absolutely ridiculously stupid. This is the most people that ever been on screen in this show so far, and everyone stands still. There's no movement whatsoever 99% of the time, because that, movement costs money, and they ain't doing that. So they're doing like the first dance, and of course everyone kind of rushes the dance floor, and it's like a big dance where everyone dances together. And then look at these background people. They do not belong in this show. They don't look anything like any of the other characters we've seen so far. These are self-inserts. They have to be. So the dance starts, and it's like a choreographed dance. I don't know, it's kind of like a... So we get Catra and Adora dancing together, and she's like talking shit. She's like, oh, maybe I am doing something. Maybe this is the plan. Maybe it isn't. She's just going back and forth. And then they have to keep switching partners, like Do-Si-Do. It switches over, and it's Glimmer, and she's crying, and, oh, Bo's not my friend anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then we have Perfuma and Adora dancing, and she gets a good handful of that ass. She's like, good on you, Adora. Get some of that. And then it switches back to Glimmer, and then she's still crying, and then it switches back over to Catra, and they're, kind of all over each other. And then the animation changes again. This is a better animation, and when Catra dips her, and then she has her leg between her freaking leg, all up in her crotch. This is why the show was made, was this episode. They couldn't wait to get to this episode. I wish the rest of the show was this quality and this screen, but it's not. Right after this little close up of a knee crotch action, it cuts right back to the crap animation, and then they're dancing, and she's talking crap, and Adora loses it, and they start fighting. And Adora's pretty strong. To pick someone up by their collar like that, you gotta be pretty strong. So they're fighting and everything, and then of course the Ice Princess girl's like, there's no fighting, and puts her in a little ice cage thing, and disinvites her. Oh, I kicked you out of my kingdom, never come back again. But right when that happens, all those little thermal bombs start going off. And Catra's just like, oh, I got bigger plans than you, and just talking shit again. Bombs are going off, getting her to chase her. We see the Scorpia Scissor Punch's vehicle. It's ridiculous. Look at this thing. That is pathetic. That is, I drew things better in second grade that look better than that. But we see loser Kyle and Corn Rolls here dragging away Bo. They're gonna put him inside the tank. They're gonna kidnap him. And of course Kyle goes down with a little Glimmer shot, one shot. He's down for the count. This kid is such a freaking loser. But she's trying to save Bo, and then she gets a scorpion sting, and I guess that's poisonous, knocks her out. The bombs start going off and start destroying the building, and then we see some of the power of the little ice chick. She starts floating the ice back up and putting her kingdom back together. I don't see why she would need to do just enough to make sure it doesn't fall down. You need to put everything back to exactly where it is. But we get to see Spinderella and her girlfriend. This is the third time we've seen them, and they don't speak. The costumes, their dresses here don't look too bad. They look okay, but they never talk. They didn't want to pay them the extra money to say something. But we cut back to Adora chasing after Catra. She corners her into a hallway, but then the whole thing with the ice chick was rebuilding her the stuff that got blown up. So some of the ice stuff is rising, and then Catra jumps on it. Did she know that was going to happen? Because it looks like she knew that was going to happen. But, she jumps up there, come chase me. And Adora does, of course. She gets chased. They catch up. They start fighting. And Adora's fighting like an idiot, which I guess kind of shows that she's fighting recklessly. And, of course, Catra, being a cat, has her agility's better than her, so she's dodging everything. And then Catra throws this really awkward elbow move. Really... that wasn't going to land worth anything. It's the most telegraphed elbow of all time. She does it, and she completely misses, and she starts to fall off the little platform. and Adora grabs her and then pulls her up, and then they get like nose to nose, and it's like, are we gonna kiss? Of course they don't, and more explosions start happening, and they both end up falling off. That little hair thingy she had in her hair was strong enough to stick into the wall and like support her and Catra's weight. Didn't this exact same thing happen in Avatar with Azula? Didn't she use her little crowning thing to stick in the wall? It's like, come on. So she's holding on to Catra, saying, "Oh, okay, I'm not gonna let you fall. I'm gonna save you." And she's like, "Oh no, maybe I don't want you to." She lets go. I'm guessing she let go so she can get an upskirt. She wanted to look up her dress there. That's why she let go. But it falls on top of the ridiculous flying scorpion. And how does she know it was down there? She just made a guess. But we see that they captured Bo and Glimmer. And she's like, haha, I got your friends. Come and get me. And that's the end of the episode. Wow. This episode really, really sucked. It's the revenge writing. No one can convince me otherwise. Some of these writers and some of these people, they weren't able to go to their prom with their girlfriends, so they had to like write it into their show, and I showed them. That's the worst kind of writing. That's the worst kind of creativity, like through hatred, through anger. It shows through. This is by far the worst episode so far. I made it through to the end, but damn, did that freaking suck. All the subverted messages, the weird insert background characters, the Glimmer acting like an idiot. She wants to be a forever 5-year-old with her best friend playing in the backyard. It's just so many wrong messages on top of terrible art. Just horrible animation. This was, if I get this is a 1 out of 10. This episode absolutely sucked.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.